Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And let's go grab something smaller than a medium base, because we're going to make something called a Mannegishi. And I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, but it's essentially kind of like a little sprite or nymph, like a little, but it's size small. It's a, miniature forest-dwelling creature that torments people and tricks them and leads them out of the right way to go, gets them lost, pretends to be something that you want to befriend, stuff like that. So the first thing we need is a head. And the only two pictures I found of these, one was like a drawing, like an ancient drawing on like an animal skin or some kind of tan cloth, and the other one was a cartoon that somebody had. It seemed more modern. But what I want to do is I want to get to my part bin and find a head and hands and feet and stuff. Because I don't want to tear up new minis, or new hero clicks to make this if I don't have to. A goblin head would be good. What's this? Is this a goblin head? It is a goblin head. That might work. I probably have a size small hero click that would be perfect for this entire build. But here I am trying to manufacture something for no reason. Sometimes a simple conversion is a lot easier than going through all the steps. Alright, I don't know if I have the parts I need exactly in my bin here today for this build. Let's look in my Mail Hero Clicks old box. See if I have anything tinier good in here that could work. Here's some hands. I don't think I'll be using otherwise. I hate this angel miniature. I could totally steal his hands and feet for it. And I have some sick wings for another project. See if I have anything good in the female box. Oh. What are you? Oh, man, there's all kind of goodies in here. I don't know if that's left. Ooh. You could be the one, my dude. Little swap out on the head. Get rid of that club. You could totally be the dude. that does not go in there. All right. First order of business is separating Homeboy from these little foot pads. And if you don't have the perfect hero click for every conversion, you could easily be using pieces of wire or toothpicks or anything like that to get a similar kind of look. I want his head to be just a little bit bigger than this. So I might use that goblin head. But I'm going to take a look real quick and see what that's going to do for me. That's going to just make him a goblin, honestly. I have this horrible looking guy. I don't think that head has enough detail on it. I want something a little bit monstrous. Oh, look at this guy's body. Oh, dude, your head could be the one. I don't foresee me using this guy for anything else anyways. Let's snip your head off and take it with us on a journey of discovery. Oh no, I'm a headless dog. I think that could do it. I wish I could breathe better. After I recover from this surgery, I should be able to breathe better. Once I'm all healed up and everything, I'll be able to breathe through my nose again. That'll be great. All right, let's get this on a base so we can work. I'm looking for a glue, glue, glue. I think this glue is empty. There we go. Glue, glue, glue. Glue, 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 glue. Sinister little gray people, huh? That's what I'm talking about. Gray. So the Mannegishi are scary for a couple reasons, just so you know. Not only will they get you lost, but they will try to get you injured and isolated. And they're always going to look friendly until it's too late. Now I'm going to base coat this homeboy. So my party will aesthetically enjoy different colors of enemy versus other different colors of enemy. So if I want them to try to befriend and trust this miniature, I'm going to have to pick a color besides just gray to lure them in. And I think the way to do that would be to give him pale skin, like humanoid type skin, with like a red or a blue or some kind of color of hair that's going to stand out, and to make him interesting and enjoyable for them, so they're going to trust him more. Because again, these are like props for a play. If you want them to play a certain role, well, you got to have the props that are in the story tell something for that improv you're creating with them. So let's see, there should be a decent amount of detail on this homeboy. I think we can get it going relatively easily. Oh man, he would look super good on with speed paints, I'm thinking. But you guys don't all have speed paints. And I did a lot of speed paint stuff when I was that first few days out of surgery. I don't want to become like a speed paint channel. He's just got really good, deep, interesting features that would do well with the paint. All right. We're going to start out with two little colors here. We're going to get a tiny bit of this khaki. We're going to get a tiny bit of peach. And a tiny bit of chestnut. We're going to use the chestnut to darken this up a little teeny bit. We'll go light on them and then think about using a wash at the end to darken them back up. Just spin around a couple times. Make sure we got everything we need to. I think we did. I hope we did. Get under his foot there a little bit. Well, now we're going to lighten him up a tiny bit more. To do that, we're just going to get a dab of white. We're going to use a little synthetic cotton brush on this. Okay. And that's just going to pick up some of that detail a little better. But I think we're going to have to go with the wash anyway, so let's get our small brush back and get his loincloth going. Loincloth! La 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 la. Instead of digging through all my craft paints, this is right here. I'm just going to grab this brown. I'm going to use this brown with a little bit lighter of a tone over it. I don't even know if I need to, if I'm going to use a wash. I don't know how many layers I plan on putting into my Mannegishi or mischief spirit. But remember, it's like a dark mischief. It's not like a kindly mischief. It's a kind of mischief that gets you separated and gets you hurt, so they can take your stuff and maybe eat you. They're not always cannibals, though. And some of the things I see they are, and some of the things I see they are not. Now, in my game, they're going to be cannibals. That's just how that's going to be. They're going to try to befriend the party, follow along with the party, gain the party's trust, wait till someone's injured, and wait until that injured person can be, I'll stay with them, or I'll help them, or whatever, and then not do that. Hair of red would be a really good choice, or like a silly yellow or blue. Any of those could work. I'm going to use a medium to light blue kind of combo here. I'm going to start with this turquoise, and then I'm going to do a lighter dry brush over it, and I hope that it gets subdued with my brown wash to not be so obnoxious. Now, the Mannegishi is not going to tell them everything about them when they meet it. And they're very rare. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they are specifically a Sioux occurrence. A Sioux story. Now, I will tell you, it is supposed to be gray, undoubtedly. But your party's going to look at it like a Snurb Nebulin or something upon seeing it and not trust it. People metagame whether you want them to or not. That's just the reality of it. We're going to dry that off. And dry brush it with a lighter blue. Which I'm guessing is going to be Laguna. It's kind of like a really pale blue-green. Not pale, but less saturated, I should say. I'm just using that synthetic brush. I dried it off pretty well. Not perfectly, but well. I'm going to grab the sticky outies. I'm going to lighten this up 2 times using that. Now, I don't want to do this because I think I'm going to mess this up. But his face looks really plain. So I'm going to hit him with some different colors in here just to give him some eyes and some eyebrows. I might have to come back and touch those eyes up again. Well, and undoubtedly I will. As far as washes go, I'm just going to use an Army Painter toner wash because I don't have to mix it. And I messed around finding parts to make this little dumbass too long. Looking for something to use for a brush. Found one. I think soft tone is the way to go to maintain the lightness of him. But I am going to need a fatter little brush for dispersing that. So we'll get this brush back out. All right. Okay. Get a piece of cloth. Kind of dab some of the surface areas we want to lighten up a little better. We don't want his hair to be too intense. I think that'll do it. Then we'll come back and hit the base. With the base, I'm going to use some of this Dollar Tree deep brown. So, some men were trapping. They had an enormous haul, and they were working their way back to Fort. I can't remember what it was. We'll say Fort Carson. I know that's not what it was. It was a pre-modern military installation. It was like an old school wooden fort, and they were paying for board there while they were doing their job. They were out on their trapping expedition. So they're heading back to the fort. And a terrible rainstorm comes and completely blocks all their field of vision. They have no idea where they are and how to get back. And they hear someone calling from the forest. And they go in the forest and they find a starving young boy with gray skin. And he informs them that his skin is gray because he is sick, that it is not contagious, that his parents have left him out here, and that he's trying to get to the fort for help. That the fort has the medicine he needs. And they said, "Oh, we're trying to find the fort." And he goes, "I know the way to get there, but I can't get to it because there's a giant gray wolf." So they help the little gray boy, the Mannegishi, and they say, "Why are you so shriveled and tiny?" "Oh, my parents haven't fed me. Oh, it's a catastrophe. I was a bad child and they punished me by sending me out, blah, blah, blah." They couldn't see him well. The storm was pretty intense. From what they could tell, he was a fair-skinned, or a gray-skinned boy with a clean complexion. He was well kept. He was just starved. So they took his advice and went and hunted the gray wolf so they could get back to camp. If they didn't kill the gray wolf, it was going to kill them. They went to find the gray wolf, and they were led into a den of gray wolves. A mother, a father, and several cubs. And the men were killed quickly. And the Mannegishi made off with their money, some of their flesh, everything he wanted out of the deal. How I would use a Mannegishi is not as a combat. He would probably be pretty easy to squish and kill, or just disappear completely, because they can turn invisible and they can teleport. They're pretty powerful little things. But I would not have a real combat block with one of these. If I could avoid it, because I don't think it would be much of a fight. They can't really do anything in the way of damage unless they have poisoned arrows or spears, which is not a guarantee that they would have such a thing, because I've only saw a little bit of stuff about that, and more so about them having nothing. No stats on these, obviously, so I'm kind of going off the hip. I need a little piece of paper just to grab a tiny little bit of oil off his leg there. Just there. Okay, good. Okay. And there is my Mannegishi. He is looking okay. I'm going to need to let him dry in front of the fan for a bit, and that's all right. But I'm pretty happy. I don't know what that miniature was, what that HeroClick was. I had a couple of those that were given to me by my friend Sam, and I don't know what happened to, or what he's called or anything. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and leave a comment. Check out the website and the Discord. Those are linked in the description. There's also a discount code in there for your first month off of our subscription service. If you're interested in just getting a free one-off, go to the website and check on the free mini in the store, and then go to Discord and get your discount code, and it won't cost you any shipping. It won't cost you anything. Just get yourself a mini. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.